rooted in trust, understanding, and respect. A woman's heart is not moved by charm alone, it is moved by the assurance that she can let down her guard and still be valued for who she truly is. Safety is not only about protecting her from harm, but also about protecting her emotions. It is about being a place where she can rest her spirit, knowing that her fears, dreams, and imperfections will not be judged. A woman carries many roles in her daily life: daughter, sister, friend, professional partner, and in all those roles she is often expected to be strong. But true attraction arises when she meets a man who allows her to just back, without demanding perfection. In that atmosphere, her walls naturally lower, and her connection with him intensifies beyond anything physical. Understanding plays an equal role in this desire. A woman longs to be heard, not just listened to. She wants her emotions to be felt, not dismissed. When she shares something, she is not always looking for solutions, but for someone to genuinely acknowledge her inner world. A man who can look into her eyes and listen without rushing to fix or argue is the man who makes her feel seen. That moment of recognition, when she realizes that she does not have to fight for space or attention, creates a powerful pull toward him. It is in those silent moments of empathy that a woman feels the spark of true intimacy. Respect strengthens that attraction even further. Respect is not only about politeness, but about valuing her individuality, her choices, her ambitions, and her essence. It is showing her through action that her boundaries matter, that her opinions carry weight, and that her being is worthy of honor. This kind of respect does not just build admiration, it creates longing. A woman feels turned on by the man who treats her as an equal, who honors her voice, and who lifts her rather than diminishes her. The physical body might attract her attention, but respect is what captures her soul. There is also a hidden power in consistency. A woman may feel safe for a moment, but if that safety fades with time or is replaced by unpredictability, her desire will weaken. Emotional security requires stability. It is not about grand gestures, but about the steady reassurance that she can count on you. That consistency builds a rhythm in her heart, a rhythm that beats stronger with every act of reliability. When she knows that your words and actions align, when she can trust that your presence is not temporary, she allows herself to surrender to the connection more deeply. Desire that comes from emotional security is lasting because it does not depend on fleeting appearances or temporary excitement. It digs into the deeper layers of attraction where her mind, heart, and body align in harmony. The way she looks at you, the way she softens around you, the way she opens her heart, all of these are signs that she feels secure in your presence. That is when intimacy surpasses the limits of the physical and becomes something profound, something that lives in her soul. Confidence without arrogance is one of the most magnetic traits a man can possess, because it radiates strength without creating distance. Genuine self-assurance does not need to shout, boast, or prove itself to others. It is quiet, steady, and deeply grounded. A man who is truly confident carries himself in a way that says he knows his value, yet he does not use that value to belittle others. This kind of energy draws women in naturally because it creates both admiration and comfort. Confidence is attractive, but when it crosses into arrogance, it becomes a wall that pushes people away. The distinction lies in humility, in being secure enough not to demand recognition from others, but allowing one's presence to speak for itself. When a man walks into a room with genuine confidence, shows not only in his posture but also in his energy. He does not need to dominate the space, but people still notice him. Women in particular are drawn to this type of man because he feels stable, as though he will not crumble under pressure. That stability is what makes her lean in. She knows she can rely on him. Confidence without arrogance tells her he respects himself, but also has the capacity to respect her. It is not about being better than others, it is about being at peace with who he is. What many fail to understand is that true confidence is not external, it is internal. It does not come from possessions, status, or appearance, but from self-awareness and self-acceptance. A man who has faced his flaws, acknowledged his weaknesses, and still stands tall is far more attractive than the man who pretends to be flawless. Women are drawn to authenticity because it feels real, and nothing is more magnetic than someone who is unapologetically themselves without needing approval. Arrogance hides insecurity, but confidence embraces imperfection. Another layer of this magnetism is the way confident men interact with others. They do not feel the need to dominate conversations, but when they speak, people listen. They give space for others to express themselves, and this generosity of presence is powerful. A woman notices when a man can maintain eye contact, listen attentively, and respond thoughtfully without constantly steering the focus back to himself. Confidence without arrogance makes her feel valued, not overshadowed. That balance is what transforms casual attraction into deep admiration. Women are also inspired by ambition paired with humility. A man who has goals, dreams, and the determination to chase them shows confidence in his ability to shape his life. But when he pursues these goals without belittling others or bragging endlessly, he shows that his drive is genuine. That kind of energy excites a woman because it reflects both strength and groundedness. She sees that he is not competing with the world to prove his worth. He is simply becoming who is meant to be. The subtle details of confidence are often the most powerful. The way a man carries himself, the calm in his voice, the steadiness in his decisions, the patience in his actions. All of these silently communicate security. And security is the foundation of attraction. A woman does not need perfection, she needs presence. When a man's confidence shines without the harshness of arrogance, it feels like a safe flame rather than a destructive fire. It warms her, draws her in, and keeps her intrigued. Confidence without arrogance is not only magnetic, but also lasting. Looks fade, possessions change, but character endures. A woman who is attracted to a man's confidence is attracted to the essence of who he is, not just the surface. And when that confidence comes wrapped in humility, it creates a natural balance that keeps desire alive. It tells her she is in the presence of someone strong yet kind, powerful yet approachable, self-assured yet respectful. And in that combination lies a magnetism deeper than physical attraction, one that makes her feel both inspired and connected on every level. Presence over performance is one of the most underestimated, but deeply powerful aspects of attraction. Many men believe that impressing a woman requires grand gestures, flawless words, or acts of dominance, but the truth is far simpler and far more profound. What a woman truly values is presence, the ability of a man to be fully engaged in the moment with her. This is not about performance or putting on a show, but about showing up authentically, with attention and awareness. When a man is present, he creates an environment where a woman feels seen, heard, and understood, and that feeling builds a connection far stronger than any act of trying to impress ever could. Presence means removing distractions and giving undivided attention. In a world constantly buzzing with phones, social media, and endless noise, a man who silences those distractions to truly listen stands out immediately. When a woman speaks, she notices whether his eyes drift away, whether his mind is elsewhere, or whether he is already preparing his reply before she finishes her thought. Presence is not only about listening with ears, but about listening with the heart. It is when she feels that her words matter, and that she is not competing with the outside world for his focus. That kind of attentive energy makes her feel valued, and value naturally deepens attraction. Performance, on the other hand, is often about ego. It is about trying to appear impressive, witty, or dominant rather than being authentic. While performance may grab temporary attention, it does not sustain long-term connection because it lacks sincerity. A woman can sense when someone is performing instead of engaging. She may smile politely, but deep inside, she knows the difference between a man who seeks approval and a man who seeks connection. Presence creates intimacy, performance creates distance. When a man is present, his body language shifts. His posture leans slightly forward, his eyes stay steady, and his energy signals patience rather than restlessness. Women pick up on these subtleties far more than men realize. She feels when he is fully there with her, not rushing her story or dismissing her emotions. That space of attentiveness allows her to open up more freely, to share her inner world without hesitation. And the more she opens, the stronger the bond becomes. Being present also means being emotionally available in the moment. It is not only about listening to words, but noticing tone, pauses, and even silences. Sometimes what is not said speaks louder than what is expressed. A present man catches these details, offering empathy without needing to solve or judge. This emotional presence makes a woman feel secure, and security amplifies attraction. She wants to be with a man who can hold space for emotions without shrinking away or turning everything into a performance about himself. Presence extends beyond conversations into everyday interactions. When spending time together, whether walking, eating, or simply sitting in silence, presence transforms ordinary moments into meaningful ones. A man who can put aside his phone, set aside distractions, and give his energy to the moment communicates that she is important. That importance makes her feel cherished, and when a woman feels cherished, her attraction grows deeper than the surface. True presence also requires vulnerability. It means not hiding behind masks, jokes, or rehearsed lines, but allowing authenticity to shine. Women value men who are comfortable enough to just be without constantly trying to impress. Authentic presence says, "This is who I am, and I am with you fully." That courage to show up honestly invites her to do the same, and that shared authenticity is what creates intimacy beyond the physical. Presence over performance is not about doing more, it is about being more. It is about the quality of attention rather than the quantity of words. When a man embodies this, he does not just win admiration, he earns trust, respect, and a deep emotional connection. That connection, built on genuine presence, becomes the foundation for desire that lasts because it makes her feel that with him, every moment matters. Ambition with purpose is one of the strongest forces of attraction because it reveals more than a man's ability to achieve. It reveals the depth of his character, his values, and his vision for life. A man who moves with direction shows that he is not simply drifting through the world, waiting for circumstances to shape him, but is instead actively shaping his own path. This quality inspires admiration because it reflects strength, resilience, and clarity. For a woman, being around such a man is magnetic, not only because of what he does, but because of the energy he carries while pursuing it. His ambition, when grounded in purpose, shows that he is a builder, a dreamer, and someone capable of creating a future worth sharing. Ambition without purpose, however, often becomes hollow. A man may chase success, money, or recognition, but if his pursuits lack meaning, they feel shallow and temporary. Women can sense when drive is fueled only by ego or comparison. That kind of ambition does not inspire, it drains. True attraction comes when ambition is tied to something bigger than vanity, when his efforts are aligned with values, growth, and contribution. A man who works toward a vision greater than himself demonstrates not only determination but also maturity. This kind of energy draws a woman closer because she sees a life of meaning unfolding with him. Purpose-driven ambition also communicates stability. When a man knows what he wants and where he is heading, it signals that he is reliable and trustworthy. Uncertainty can create anxiety, but direction creates safety. A woman feels secure with a man who is not lost in his path because she knows he is capable of guiding himself through challenges. That security translates into admiration, and admiration naturally fuels desire. It is not about controlling her path, but showing her that he is strong enough to carry his own. There is also an unspoken passion in a man who is ambitious with purpose. His eyes light up when he talks about his goals. His energy rises when he takes steps forward, and his resilience becomes visible when he faces setbacks. This passion is contagious. A woman is drawn to that spark because it shows life, vitality, and depth. Even if she does not share the same dreams, she admires the fire within him. That fire makes her believe he will never settle for mediocrity, and in turn, she feels inspired to rise alongside him. Ambition with purpose creates an aura of leadership. Leadership is not about controlling others, but about guiding by example. A man who leads his own life with discipline, vision, and passion naturally influences those around him. For a woman, seeing him lead himself builds trust that he can also lead in a relationship, not through dominance but through strength of character. That leadership draws her in because it reflects confidence grounded in responsibility. She knows that he will not only dream but also act. Another aspect of this quality is resilience. Purpose-driven ambition is not without obstacles, but how a man handles setbacks reveals his true nature. When he falls but rises again, when he faces rejection but continues with dignity, when he encounters struggle but does not surrender, he shows a strength that goes beyond surface attraction. A woman who witnesses this resilience feels respect, and respect strengthens connection. His persistence proves that he is not easily broken, and that reliability makes her feel safe investing her emotions in him. Ambition with also eliminates complacency. A man who continuously grows, learns, and strives shows that he refuses to remain stagnant. This hunger for growth reflects not restlessness but vitality. A woman sees this and recognizes that life with him will be filled with progress, experiences, and evolution. Stagnancy breeds boredom, but purposeful ambition keeps energy alive. It shows her that he is committed to becoming more, not only for himself but also for those around him. Attraction that stems from ambition with purpose is lasting because it blends admiration with desire. It assures a woman that she is not with someone who lives day to day without direction, but with a man who has a vision of tomorrow. That vision does not have to be grand or world-changing. It simply has to be meaningful. And when a man pursues his goals with integrity, humility, and consistency, he creates a presence that pulls her in more deeply than charm or appearance ever could. His ambition tells her he is not just existing. He is living with intention. And that is what ignites admiration and keeps attraction alive. Respect and appreciation are the invisible forces that nurture intimacy and attraction in ways that go far beyond the physical. When a man genuinely values a woman's opinions, efforts, and individuality, he communicates something powerful: she matters. Attraction is not only built on desire, it is built on recognition. A woman feels most connected to the man who sees her not just as a body, but as a human being with thoughts, emotions, and a unique essence worth honoring. This recognition sparks intimacy at a level that no physical gesture alone can reach. Respect begins with listening, but it goes deeper than silence. It is about giving her voice weight, treating her thoughts with consideration, and showing her that her perspective is not only welcome but cherished. When a woman speaks and a man listens with genuine interest, she feels the kind of validation that makes her trust him more. He may not always agree, but the act of respecting her view is enough to build closeness. A man who interrupts, dismisses, or belittles her unknowingly pushes her away, but the one who listens deeply becomes someone she naturally leans toward. Appreciation is found in the small acts, the little acknowledgments that often carry the greatest meaning. Thanking her for her efforts, noticing the energy she pours into her work, or recognizing the care she puts into a relationship are not minor gestures. They are seeds of connection. When a man appreciates the details, a woman feels seen. She realizes that her presence is not taken for granted, and this realization fills her with warmth. Desire grows strongest where a woman feels valued, not overlooked. Respect also shows itself in how a man treats her individuality. Every woman has dreams, quirks, and personal passions that define her identity. A man who encourages these, who gives her the freedom to be herself without trying to control or mold her, sends a powerful message: you are enough as you are. That kind of acceptance builds intimacy effortlessly because it creates safety. She knows she does not need to hide or shrink parts of herself to be loved. With him, she feels whole, and that feeling makes her attraction deepen in ways no physical act can replicate. Another layer of respect and appreciation lies in honoring her boundaries. A man who recognizes and upholds her limits, whether emotional, physical, or mental, demonstrates maturity and care. Boundaries are not walls meant to exclude, they are expressions of self-respect. When he respects those boundaries, she feels honored, not pressured. This respect becomes the bridge to deeper trust. And trust is the foundation on which true intimacy is built. Consistency is another subtle but vital expression of respect. When a man keeps his word, when his actions align with his promises, he shows her that she matters enough to be taken seriously. Empty words and broken promises create distance, but consistency brings closeness. Appreciation is not only in compliments, but in follow-through, in proving through action that she is important. That reliability creates the kind of intimacy that makes her want to give more of herself in return. The deepest connections are formed not through dramatic gestures, but through daily respect. It is in remembering her favorite things, in showing gratitude for her presence, in encouraging her when she doubts herself, and in admiring her strength when she shines. These acts may seem simple, but they build layers of intimacy over time. A woman's heart does not respond only to passion, it responds to being honored. Respect and appreciation feed this response until it grows stronger than desire sparked by touch alone. When a man chooses to see value and honor a woman for all that she is, he taps into the core of what makes intimacy lasting. Respect and appreciation are not temporary sparks, they are steady flames that grow brighter with time. They transform attraction from something fleeting into something enduring, because they reach beyond the surface into the soul. Playful energy and humor carry a kind of magic that seriousness alone cannot create. While stability, respect, and ambition build a strong foundation of attraction, it is laughter that often breathes life into a relationship and makes it feel effortless. A woman may admire a man's strength or be moved by his depth, but it is his ability to bring joy, lightness, and playful energy into her world that often unlocks her heart most naturally. Humor does not mean constantly telling jokes or being the loudest in the room. It means having the ability to find light even in heavy moments, to turn ordinary experiences into fun, and to remind her that life is not only about responsibilities, but also about joy. Playful energy is about presence without tension. A man who can laugh at himself, who does not take life too seriously, creates an atmosphere of freedom. Around him, a woman feels she can let go of her own burdens and simply enjoy the moment. This freedom is intoxicating because it allows her to be her authentic self without fear of judgment. Laughter becomes a shared language, one that does not require perfection or performance, but simply openness. This kind of connection goes deeper than physical attraction because it ties two hearts together through joy. Humor also reveals intelligence and perspective. The ability to find humor in everyday life shows emotional strength, a refusal to be weighed down by negativity. A woman admires the man who can face challenges without losing his sense of lightness. It does not mean avoiding seriousness when it is necessary, but balancing it with levity. She feels more drawn to the man who can handle difficulties while still making her smile, because that smile becomes a reminder that no storm lasts forever. His humor becomes a source of resilience, and resilience is profoundly attractive. Another powerful aspect of humor is the intimacy it creates. Inside jokes, shared laughter, and playful banter build a bond that only the two of them understand. These moments become memories, threads that weave their connection tighter. A woman treasures the man who can make her laugh, even in the simplest situations, because it makes her feel close to him in a way words cannot always express. And playfulness breaks down walls faster than serious conversations ever could, and once those walls fall, intimacy flows naturally. Playful energy also shows confidence. A man who is comfortable enough to be silly, to tease gently, or to make fun of himself demonstrates that he does not need to hide behind an image of perfection. That comfort in his own skin makes him even more attractive because it signals security. Arrogance closes hearts, but playful humor opens them. A woman feels safe with the man who can laugh without ego, because his humor lifts her rather than bringing her down. In relationships, humor acts as a bridge over conflict. Disagreements and stress are inevitable, but humor softens sharp edges and brings perspective. A man who can use lightheartedness to ease tension shows emotional wisdom. This does not mean dismissing problems, but handling them with grace. A well-timed smile, a playful comment, or a burst of laughter can shift the energy in an instant, reminding her that love is not about winning battles, but about staying connected. That ability to restore harmony through humor builds trust and strengthens attraction over time. Beyond relationships, a playful spirit makes life itself more enjoyable. Women are naturally drawn to men who make experiences feel vibrant, whether it is dancing in the kitchen, turning errands into adventures, or laughing through unexpected moments. Seriousness alone may build respect, but it rarely keeps passion alive. Playfulness keeps energy flowing, keeps curiosity alive, and keeps the relationship feeling fresh. Attraction grows when she knows that with him, life will never feel dull. Laughter has the power to disarm, to heal, and to bond. When a man offers his playful energy to a woman, he is not just making her laugh, he is giving her a gift of ease, reminding her that she does not always need to carry the weight of the world. That feeling of lightness creates a joy she instinctively wants to return to again and again. In the end, playfulness and humor are not distractions from love. They are some of its purest expressions, and they often open a woman's heart more deeply than seriousness ever could.